Frozen pizza, as represented by brands like DiGiorno in the United States and Dr. Oetker in Europe, is one of the most deceptively dangerous ultra-processed foods available in modern supermarkets. With its inviting aroma, gooey cheese, and promise of a hot, satisfying meal in under 20 minutes, it's little wonder that frozen pizza has become a staple in countless households. But behind this convenience lies a deeply flawed food product, one that is saturated with unhealthy fats, laden with refined carbohydrates, spiked with excessive sodium, and chemically engineered for long shelf life at the expense of human well-being. At first glance, frozen pizza may not seem different from a traditional, fresh-made pie. But the similarities are almost entirely superficial. A closer look at the ingredient list reveals a long catalog of industrial substances: dough conditioners, stabilizers, preservatives, emulsifiers, modified starches, flavor enhancers, artificial colors, and a blend of cheap, refined fats and sodium-heavy additives. Unlike fresh pizza, which might contain just a few simple ingredients, frozen pizza is a laboratory product. Each component is designed for texture preservation, freezing stability, and mass production, not for nutrition and certainly not for health. One of the most damaging elements of frozen pizza is its heavy reliance on refined white flour in the crust. This type of flour has been stripped of its bran and germ, removing the fiber, minerals, and healthy fats, leaving behind a quickly absorbed carbohydrate that spikes blood sugar and insulin. These repeated glycemic surges contribute to the development of insulin resistance, weight gain, and over time, type 2 diabetes. Worse still, the lack of fiber in the crust means the body receives no metabolic buffer. There is no slowing of digestion, no sustained energy, only a rapid metabolic jolt followed by fatigue and hunger soon after. The toppings offer no redemption. Most frozen pizzas use highly processed meats like pepperoni, sausage, or bacon, each one a cocktail of sodium nitrite, saturated fat, and preservatives. These processed meats have been classified as Group 1 carcinogens by the World Health Organization, meaning there is strong evidence that their consumption increases the risk of colorectal cancer. When these meats are cooked at high temperatures, as they are during baking, they also form harmful compounds like heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, which further elevate cancer risk. The cheese, another dominant ingredient, is typically not just pure dairy, but a blend of lower-grade cheeses and synthetic cheese-like substances designed for meltability and cost efficiency. These are often high in saturated fat and sodium. While dairy fat in moderation isn't inherently harmful for all individuals, the problem with frozen pizza is both the quantity and the context. The saturated fats are consumed in a food matrix that is already inflammatory, low in antioxidants, and devoid of protective nutrients like fiber, potassium, magnesium, or healthy omega-3s. This pro-inflammatory profile puts constant stress on the body's cardiovascular system, increasing the risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and systemic inflammation. Speaking of sodium, frozen pizza is one of the leading sources of excessive salt in the Western diet. A single serving often contains upwards of 800 to 1,200 milligrams of sodium, and again, these servings are misleadingly small. Many people consume an entire pizza in one sitting, easily taking in 2,000 milligrams of sodium or more, often exceeding the recommended daily limit in a single meal. High sodium intake is directly correlated with increased blood pressure, fluid retention, kidney strain, and cardiovascular disease. In people with pre-existing hypertension or heart issues, the effects can be immediate and dangerous. Add to this the presence of industrial oils such as soybean or palm oil, used in the crust, the sauce, and even the non-stick packaging materials. These oils are often partially hydrogenated or high in omega-6 fatty acids, which, in excess, promote inflammation and disrupt the body's healthy fat metabolism. Over time, a diet rich in these oils contributes to the development of fatty liver disease, joint pain, chronic fatigue, and neurological issues. What makes frozen pizza especially insidious is how normalized it has become in modern culture. It's marketed as fun, easy, and family-friendly, a Friday night treat, a party essential, or a quick fix after a long day. Yet, its regular consumption reflects a broader collapse in food quality standards. Children grow up eating it as a weekly ritual. College students live off it for months. Working adults reach for it as a stress relief meal, unaware that they're ingesting a product designed for shelf stability and profit margins, not nourishment. Even the psychological dimensions are troubling. Frozen pizza is a classic comfort food, often consumed mindlessly late at night or during emotional lows. Its high salt, sugar in the crust and sauce, and fat content light up the brain's reward pathways, producing a dopamine hit not unlike addictive substances. This leads to a cycle of craving and compulsion, eating more of a food that not only fails to satisfy nutritional needs but actually deepens metabolic imbalance. In some cases, frozen pizzas are labeled as thin crust, vegetarian, or organic, giving consumers a false sense of security. But a closer look almost always reveals the same fundamental problems: ultra-processed ingredients, excessive sodium, high saturated fat, refined flour, and chemical additives. These labels are often nothing more than health washing, marketing strategies that obscure the true nature of the food within. Ultimately, frozen pizza is not a harmless convenience food. It is a dense concentration of dietary risk factors, an engineered product that undermines metabolic health, contributes to systemic inflammation, and pushes consumers deeper into cycles of poor nutrition and chronic disease. It does not nourish the body. It burdens it. It does not offer balance. It distorts it. And while the occasional indulgence may not be catastrophic, regular reliance on frozen pizza as a meal choice is a recipe for long-term health degradation. For those serious about their health, it's time to rethink the role of frozen pizza in the modern diet. What seems like a simple dinner solution is, in fact, one of the clearest indicators of how far our food system has drifted from real nourishment. Convenience should never come at the cost of wellness, but in the case of frozen pizza, it almost always does.